everyone, welcome to Meet an Entrepreneur. My name is Deborah. I'll be your host on this show. And today we have a very special guest. I'm going to bring her to the camera so she can introduce herself. Hello.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Sanmi Akomolafe, but everyone calls me Sanmi, which is the name I go by. Hi, I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, Sammy, can you tell us what you do, what your business is, and what this is all about?
Oh, okay. My business that I would love to talk about. I would love to talk about the EcoTabit, which
Okay.
is is coined from ecology, the study of environment, and Tabit is from my middle name, which is Dorcas. In Greek, the Greek word is Tabitha. So it's like the combination of both. Tabitha, helping to save the environment. That's how the name of my business, was formed. So what we do is we recycle, we reuse things instead of trashing it. We see wealth instead of waste. What can I do with this? I'm done with using it for this type of a thing. What else can I use it for? you
Okay.
know, Instead of trashing it, because we know our dumpsters are filled all the time. And by burning most of these, biodegradable materials, we actually pollute the environment. The air we breathe in are
Mm-hmm.
not really clean anymore because of that. So we now recycling will give you, the mindset of instead of dumping things, what can
Mm-hmm.
I use it for? What else
Okay.
can we make out of it that people can still use?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be, not too expensive, affordable, let me say, and beautiful and functional. Most of it is even multifunctional. So that's what we do. We recycle tires, plastic bottles, cork like the wine cork, a lot of different things we recycle. So
Okay, thank you so much for that introduction. So tell me, how did you come about? Where did you get the idea from?
okay, so since I was young, I love arts. I love
Mm-hmm.
to sing. I love to dance. I love to keep things, And people think I'm hurting, but I'm like, no. I'm a collector. I love to
Okay.
collect good things. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
think about it and I'm like, I can use this plastic for this. I can use
Mm-hmm.
it to save stuff. I'll keep it. But people around me are like, oh, you love to hurt. No, it is not hurting. I see more than what you see. Where you
Mm-hmm.
see trash, I see treasure. I see
Wow.
what I can turn this into. So
Mm-hmm.
because of my insights, rather my artistic mind, the way my mind works, I don't just trash things. I keep them. I've had purses, that are faded, and I had to be like, instead of trashing it, I can actually paint it. And I took a paintbrush and I painted it, and it worked exactly perfectly fine. Like people never noticed anything was wrong with it. That
Mm-hmm.
is what recycling, mindset does to you. You think of ways to do stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I came about this, so from while growing up, I've had that mindset coming up. Then I
Mm-hmm.
went to school when I got here to study interior design. My
Okay.
first degree was in mass communication.
Mm-hmm.
Even in mass communication, communication will, give you the, how to like speak to people,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you have to, the receiver, you don't have to send a message alone, but your receiver has to get the message you're trying to pass across, which is necessary in recycling too. You
Okay.
have to let your customers or clients know what you are trying to, make for them, the design you're trying to do for them. So my communication background really is really, really helpful. But when I got here, I was like, okay, I would love to go back to school. What would I like to do? I know I love to, even before I got here, I saw someone making beaded jewelries, and I was like, "Oh, I love this. I love to do this. I love the hard work. I don't love the simple ones. I love the intricate ones, the ones that will take you weeks to make, so that at the end of the day, people will look at your neck, they'll be like, oh
Little.
my God. So, from that, I'm like, I would still love to go back to that business. I want something, a line of business that I can do together, with this. I said, that's what I would love to do. So I went for interior design. And in the process of the class, we were taught about how to choose our fabrics, pillows, how to design fabrics. We did a lot of painting and drawings and different things. We studied magazine, we studied houses and everything. By the end of that class, I was like, I would love to go into the sales part of this. I would love to go into the staging, whereby I can help clients pick furnitures, ottomans, couches, and all sorts, and the colors for their environment. You can see like my life has been like, like I love everything design and decorations and fashion, and all sorts. So after I got done, I was still thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I tried looking for a job. I found that they weren't paying much as to the caregiving job I was doing. So I was like, okay, so excuse me. I was like, okay, uh I was like, I have to, I have to, go back into the interior design field. But then God brought an angel my way in the person of Olamide Hayeni, my friend in Nigeria, and she's like my sister. She started a recycling business in 2015, and I followed her and I started seeing what she is doing with Taya and how she's training people. As of right now, she has trained like 12,800 people in recycling. She's working with the US mission. I saw and I kept, keeping tires. I started, grabbing tires when I see them on the road. And I said, this is it. I love this. I love to be a part of this. So that is how my journey into recycling started. 2 years I was, pestering her, telling her, I would love to do this. I would love to come and learn. I flew down to Nigeria in 2019 December after 2 years of disturbing her that this is what I would love to do. And I'm glad I did it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. But it was worth it because at the end of the day, I love the beauty that can be created from trash that people would have buried in the first place, in the dumpster. That's my journey to recycling. Thank you, Deborah. Hi. Hi, Deborah. Are you still there? Hello? Hi, Deborah. Okay. Hi, Deborah. So I started the business officially in 2019. After I came here, I registered the business, and since then I've worked with, clients that want ottoman design for their boutiques and their, bedrooms, living rooms. Like a co-worker of mine bought this design. You can see this design with a pillowcase. I lost you for 1 minute.
I know, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this
Sorry
design,
about that.
okay. So with the
Okay, I
pillow,
live in Sapi. I live in Sapi County. For those that join, we don't have internet. We've cut communication and we don't have internet here. So I was using the hotspot from a phone and, with technical difficulties, but I'm back. I'm back
okay.
and you did so
Welcome
well.
back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that introduction and telling us about, the background of your business and everything. And you were about to show one of your designs. I also
Yeah.
have it here. Um,
Oh, okay.
and we have people that are commenting. I'll get to the comment in a moment. So I believe I have that one.
Yes,
Is it this
yes,
one?
that's it. That's
Yes.
it. That's
So
it.
that's one of your designs. Tell me about
Mm.
it.
Yeah. So it got to a point I was thinking of what else can I do? Because I used to
Mhm.
work with like just, any other fabric except African fabric. And I'm like, I cannot forget my roots. I have to give, clients, especially the African community, something to make them see this Ottoman as part of what they can use in their homes, in their stores, in their boutiques, salon, spas, anywhere, in schools.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give something to them. So I started thinking of using African fabrics, during the exhibition Judith had, to make some, and I named them Iranti, which means remembrance, because I'm Yoruba from the Yoruba part of Nigeria, which means
Mm-hmm.
remembrance, which means even for those of us that we have a kids here and they don't really speak the language, or they speak the language but they don't really know much about the culture. you
Mm-hmm.
know, this Ottoman being in African pattern is a conversation starter for even any guest that comes into
Absolutely.
the house. Any guest, because they want to be like, oh my God, I love this fabric. Where is it from? And you're like, oh, I'm from Ghana. Or did you see my magazine, Afro Swag? Oh, that is the pattern we use there. It's a
Yes.
conversation starter. So not
Mm-hmm.
only can you put magazines in there, you can put shoes, you can put blankets, you can put
Mm-hmm.
toys for kids. People have bought for their
Mm-hmm.
kids. Judith
Right.
bought for her niece. She
Mm-hmm.
has it in her house. It's beautiful. You can use it for, it's multifunctional. You can use it,
Mm-hmm.
you can put it at different, places. Someone bought for the bedroom, and put
Right.
blankets in there. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
So
I
so
love this one. This is my favorite, and you know why? That's the color of Afro Swag magazine,
oh
and
my
that's
goodness.
just the symbol of royalty,
Santa
kingdom.
might bring you one. Santa might bring you one. Christmas is around the corner.
Right.
Forever. Yeah.
And then you have this one also, this fuchsia pink. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love
So
it.
this Fisher Pink was the one Judith got for the niece for her two
Okay.
years birthday. And she
Mm-hmm.
wanted a different color. And I'm like, you know, she wanted like the cartoon fabric. And I just said, what about we do a solid pink color? Because what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen is she can grow into it, even when she's going
Right.
into college. And that is another thing we do. We create something that
Mm-hmm.
lasts for a long time. Since I'm the one making
Mm-hmm.
it, it's not as if anything happens to it, you just trash it. You can bring it back and we
Mm-hmm.
can change the fabric. If you decide, I don't want to
Right.
go to pink anymore. 2 years down the line,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I've changed all the fab, all the sectional or whatever couch, furniture in my
Mm-hmm.
living room or my bedroom, and this color doesn't match anymore. I'll be like, oh yes, we can change the fabric. We
Mm-hmm.
can change the fabric. You want the legs change? We can do that. So it's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
like the furnitures you buy at IKEA or furniture mat anymore, that when any little thing happens, you don't have a choice than to trash it. We're
Mm-hmm.
making this from the scratch. Even the wood, the plywood, we cut them. Yeah. So we do everything. So that means we can fix whatever is wrong with it. So when you buy it, you are buying something that can last, that you can even pass down to the next generation.
I love
That
it.
is
I love
what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we have some comments here. So thank you so much, Judy, for watching. Um, she said, and a shoe lover. Hide your shoes, ladies. I just love her spirit and her energy. That's Judith, and I love my ottomans. It was my niece's favorite piece from her favorite auntie.
Oh,
And then we have Yemi Oladipo. She said,
ah,
"Oh,
Mama, thank you so much.
Lady Sammy is amazing, multi-talented woman. I connect with her on the fashion side. She is a serious fashionista."
Thank
And
you,
then,
Mama. That's Mama from Boston. I love you. Thank you so much.
and there was a question here for you to
Mhm.
talk about your Mary Kay business and the book that you just wrote.
Okay. Thank you so much, Judith, my darling sister and friend, my mentor, my everything, my coach. She does it all for me. So, my journey into Mary Kay started in 2013 in the US, but it didn't start in the US, it started in Nigeria, because for 10 years before then, I've been using Mary Kay. Someone introduced Mary Kay to me and I love it. So when I
Okay.
got here and I found the opportunities, um, that surrounds it, I'm like, this is beautiful. One,
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay herself was a Christian till she died. And she told us it's not just about selling the products, it's about
Mm-hmm.
connecting and building relationship with people. So
Mm-hmm.
most times when we go to customers' houses or when we meet up with people, when we see needs, we pray with them, we sing with them. Have had to sing, have had to pray with people, have had to meddle in issues. And you think it's just Mary Kay was selling. People see me and they're like, my friend. And I'm like, and I feel like I have, many friends who love me for different things. You see, I've had to meddle, I've had to like be the peacemaker in a marriage, and I only went there to sell Mary Kay because and
Mm.
I couldn't stand abuse. So we do more than just selling. We connect with people. They become part
Right.
of us. You
Mm-hmm.
can preach to them if that is what they want. You see a need, you go beyond just selling. So the relationship extends over the years. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've had people that started with me in 2013 that's still with me now.
Wow.
This is 8 years after. They're still with me because every time I see them, I don't treat them as if just bring me the money, let me go. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my friend, where have you been? What's happening? It's been a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
miss you. Tell me
Wow.
what's up. We
That's
sing together,
amazing.
we drink together. We even if people from other countries that have never had their food before, they offer me anything, even if I don't want a lot, I still eat out of it because that's my way of showing them that I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. So I show them. So Mary Kay allows you to connect deeper, with people. And it has brought me a lot of friends. Like
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, that is on my Lisa Lyers. Hi, Lisa, that is on my board of directors. I met her through Mary Kay, my first conference in Kansas City that I did with Mary Kay in October 2013. I met Lisa there. And
Okay.
Lisa is she's more than a sister to me right now. She does a lot of my postings, my business postings and everything, my business cards, the everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she does. My kids will tell you Auntie Lisa is her favorite auntie. She's a rich auntie. So Mary Kay has brought me beautiful people. My friend Brenda. I met Brenda. We shared the same room together through Mary Kay. I've met and she passed away in December. May her soul rest in peace. I love you, Brenda. She's in heaven right now, resting. I've met beautiful people through Mary Kay. So it is not just about selling. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that, being a Mary Kay girl, using Mary Kay for many years will afford me the opportunity to buy at
Mm-hmm.
wholesale price. And then I will still be able to make impact by connecting with people, by
Mm-hmm.
speaking to people, by doing ministry alongside doing the business is
Mm-hmm.
the reason why no matter any other business I do, I'll forever be a Mary Kay consultant.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
what
you.
about the book?
The book, well, you see how everything is interconnected. Lisa, the same Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
dragged me to this group and said, Sonny, I think you are a good writer. You can write better than me. You speak fluently. You can do this. You can do that. I'm like, Lisa, I don't know what to write. She said, you're going to do this. I believe in you. So she drags me to every good thing happening in town. So I decided to write. And but before then, what happened, I didn't tell her was a week before then I was in the shower and it just came to me, my scar, my story. And I was like, I wrote about that 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And it
Mm-hmm.
just kept coming to me, and it just kept coming to me, and it just kept coming to me. So 3 days to submission time, I didn't write anything. So she reached out to me again. She was like, "Babe, what's up?" My wealthy friend. She calls me a wealthy friend. She's like, "My wealthy friend." She sees more than what I see. She's like, "My wealthy friend and sister, what's up about the book?" I'm like, "It's not coming. I have what is called writer's block." And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You are going to write this because I believe you can do this. You have
Mm-hmm.
many more books in you." And she stood by me. And we all need friends like Lisa, like Judith, like Deborah, like Mama Yemi. We need people that will encourage us, that will hold our hands through the process. And she stood with me that night. She was like, "Take your laptop. Do you need to go somewhere tomorrow? If you need to get out of the house, you need to go to the library or go to the park somewhere quiet. Sammy,
Mm-hmm.
you write more than me. You can do this." And I started writing. And I went to the old story that I wrote and I started typing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changed. It just kept pouring. It just kept pouring.
Mm.
I was like, why did I pay for 3 to 5 pages? I don't even have up to 1 page. At the end of the day, I wrote 4 pages. I wrote
Nice.
four
Good
pages.
job.
I wrote 4 pages, and the book is out now. So it came out 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to come out last week. It came out way early before. It's before Thanksgiving. It's a book collaboration between 39 female authors, which I'm blessed to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My pages 71 to 75. We have the paperback, and then we have the paperback and the hard copies.
Okay.
It's a book you read and you will love because
Mm-hmm.
it tells the story of my accident that gave me 12 stitches on my
Mm-hmm.
forehead, how I survived it, how someone else took the fall and died in my place. May soul rest in peace. That was the first time I watched someone actually breathe his last. I had to succumb to the will of God because
Mm-hmm.
despite that I didn't know him, my spirit connected with him. And
Mm-hmm.
so each time I try to look at my scars, and instead of me to like say, oh, your face doesn't look like it used to look before, I remember it's a reminder of the many victories I've won because I
Mm-hmm.
could have been the one that died. If it wasn't there, the impact of that accident would have been way
Mm-hmm.
more than that. I wouldn't have survived it. My brother wouldn't have survived it. And, we just lost our father less than 2 years before then. So I can imagine my mom wouldn't have even survived it.
Mm-hmm.
It would have taken a whole toll on my family, and it would have been really bad. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, there are scars, not just the physical ones. People are dealing with unseen scars, mental health issues, other challenges that they can't even talk about, HIV, anything. It is
Mm-hmm.
not everybody that has HIV that is promiscuous or has slept around.
Mm-hmm.
Some people had it and they can't even trace it. Or maybe, those living in Africa, those that go to quack doctors because they don't have money for good health care system,
Mm-hmm.
and then, they get infected. Even for those that have done, something bad, or that they are wayward or something, there's mercy still, and they can still see reasons beyond the physical or the unseen scars they are seeing right now. They can remember a lot of the good things happening in their lives, or how they've been able to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
Your scar might be there for you to be actually a message for someone going through the same mess you have gone through.
Right. So,
So
where can we go to get your book?
get your book. People can DM me. There's
Mm-hmm.
a website. There's a website too, bigcartel.com. And people can DM me. I take Cash App, I take PayPal, I
Mm-hmm.
take Zelle. They can DM me to get the book. This one is 25.99. This one is 16.99 to get the book. Even every other authors in the book wrote beautifully well. There's another
So,
Nigerian lady that wrote
is
that
it on Amazon?
No, it's not on Amazon yet.
Okay.
Yes, it's
So,
not on Amazon yet.
we'll put the link to the website in the
Okay.
chat box for people that need it. And
Okay.
then we have a
Okay.
comment here from Nita. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Nida.
Oh, we just
No.
answered the question,
Okay,
isn't it?
Mama. It's not on Amazon yet, but I'll bring yours to Boston. I'll bring yours to Boston, Mama. So it seems we lost the host.
No, we
Oh, you
didn't
back.
lose.
Okay.
I'm here. I've been here the whole time. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's not on Amazon yet, but you
Yes.
can
Yeah.
DM
Mhm.
Sammy to get a copy, and
Yes.
also we'll add the link to the chat box
Yes, I
as
will.
well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you talk about the book, you talk about Mary Kay, and
Okay.
we talked about EcoTabit.
Mhm.
So what's next for you on your
So
journey?
I started a foundation. The story of my foundation, I started a foundation that I named Tabitha Adegoke Espoir Foundation. Espoir.
Mhm.
I'm trying to learn French. Espoir. Espoir.
Espoir.
Espoir. Espoir means hope in French.
Mhm.
No, they said it's not Espoir. I should talk like an African, a bush girl. It's Espoir. Tabitha Adegoke, because Adegoke was my maiden name, and I have a
Okay.
reason for using that name.
Mhm.
This philanthropic work came naturally to me because I saw my father of blessed memory did a lot of it while growing up. We didn't have much, but he gave his life. He gave everything. He gave money. He gave hugs. He gave songs. He would sing to people. He
Mhm.
did it all. He did it all. I saw him. I saw him help a lot of people. So I think everybody that sees me will say, "Oh, you look like your father." If they see me act a certain way, if they see me dance, if they see me sing. But
Mm.
see, when my father passed away, the whole
Mhm.
church, he was a reverend, the whole church decided to pray and fast for 21 days for God to bring him back to life.
Wow.
They were like, "No, God, if that is the only miracle you will do before you die, you have to do
Mhm.
this. This man is just too good to die." So, and you
Mm.
see, that moment moved me. I was
Mm.
like, if I live now, what will people say about me?
Mhm.
This man, people are praying for him. He wasn't even the owner of the church. He was not the founder. He was even the youngest minister, that is like the General Advisory Council, the ministers close to the GO, the founder of the church. He was the
Mm.
youngest among them, but he was the wisest. People respected him, they revered him. So I was like, they were praying for God to bring him back to life, praying into anointing hall, taking it to the mortuary. I followed them and I internalized everything. I processed everything. I said, why do they love him this much? I saw
Mm.
it was his words speaking for him. His work spoke. And I was
Mm.
like, he gave me the name Dorcas. If you're a Christian, you know the meaning of Dorcas. You know what Dorcas did in the Bible. When Dorcas passed away, people were crying just like they were crying for my dad and praying. They wanted her up. They were showing things he gave them. And I said, I would be a bastard not to act like the Dorcas in the Bible. Enough of just playing around. I have
Mm.
a calling here. When I was 12, even before all that happened, when I was 12, I told my mom, I said, I don't think I want to have my own kids. I don't want to ever get pregnant and have my own kids. She didn't even understand. She didn't ask me why. She slapped me Jesus out of me. She's like, in Jesus' name, I got pregnant with you. I gave birth to you. You will give birth to your own kids. Like it is the devil speaking out of you. But you see, I was crying as I was telling the story, and I was telling my friend, I said, what she did not see that time was I wanted to take care of the kids in the streets, on the
Mm.
streets. I
Mm.
want a lot of kids that I can give quality lives to
Mhm.
without being the one that carry their pregnancy. Because actually, I carry their pregnancy spiritually because I
Mm.
have that love necessary
Mhm.
to take care of them. I
Mm.
said, I saw myself as a 12, 13-year-old having an orphanage home. I said, I want to have an orphanage home. I want to take kids from the street. When we watch movies, we see news. They say, oh, this child was dumped here. Someone, maybe a little girl will have a baby because of the shame. The parents will take the teenage girl, the teenager through. They will just dump the baby. I said, I want to take all these kids. They have
Mm.
potentials. Something
Mhm.
good can come out of their lives. I didn't
Right.
really understand much. Maybe it needed money. Maybe okay, it's going to take me whatever. Yeah, I'll be on the
Mhm.
street. I didn't. I said I just want to love upon them.
Mhm.
I want to have many kids, hundreds, 200,
Wow.
1,000. So you see, though I was beaten for saying what was wrong to the African
Mhm.
context, but
Mhm.
that dream never died.
Mm.
Even
Right.
when I had three boys, I still said, okay, that would be an opportunity for me, at least an excuse. I can adopt one girl, and then I'll adopt the next
Mm.
one, and then I'll adopt the next one, and then we can start something. So as I grew up, I started thinking, okay, if I don't have a lot of money, when I realized this is a responsibility, it's a huge task. So what I started doing was giving to other foundations that my friend had over the years,
Mm.
partnering with them. giving to
Mhm.
them, sending them books,
Mhm.
kids' books. That was another thing my father did. He read a lot of books. He only went through elementary school, but he never came second. He was ever first.
Mhm.
From all through his elementary school, the 6 years, he was ever first. So, but his father promised him he was going to send him to anywhere in the world to school, but the father died 6 months after. And you know
Oh.
the story. The family members took the properties, everything. They didn't make him go to school. But as God will have it, he went and did, other things. And then when after marriage, that he became born again, he went into the Bible college for 3.5 years. You know what? He was ever first there. He
Oh
kept
wow.
reading books. My father had like different bookshelves. There's no Oyibo like white minister of God that my father didn't have the book from them. He bought every book, he read every book. And because of that, I said the foundation is not only going to take care of the widows, because when my father passed away, we went through a lot. People came to our rescue. God sent people to us. I knew firsthand what widows, go through, watching my mother, watching people promised us money and they never came through, watching people saying, oh, even on my father's funeral, whatever, the party, people were saying, someone said, I'll pay for your sister's school. Everybody raising up their hands, promising what they never, in fact, they never asked again. But I'm like, my mother went through that. I want to be that shoulder for another widow, for some widows, as God will bless me. I said, send me, oh Lord, send me, oh Lord, send me, oh Lord, to the street. Send me, oh Lord, send me, oh Lord, send me, oh Lord, to the street. I volunteer myself as a laborer for you. I volunteer myself, as an instrument in the field. You see, I see that all God needs is for us to say, I am here, send me. And He will first test you. Like, okay, the little you have, show me what you can do with it. He said He will bless the work of our hands. If God cannot trust you with the little He has given you to give to the people that are suffering around you, people He has called you to bless. He cannot trust you with more money. He cannot trust you with more money because if He cannot account for the one you have right now, He's blessed you with right now. You think, oh, it's your job. Oh, Shebi, I have to work. No. What if you lose that job? People lose their jobs all the time.
Mhm.
So I look for opportunities to bless people with the little I have. I partnered with some organizations sending books, giving money, to help. This is my own widow's mite. And
Mhm.
then when it got to the stage last year, I felt it was time for me to start my own thing. I will still support others, but
Mhm.
I want to do my own thing. God has placed in my heart to build a library in the community where my father was buried. That community, I am not even from that community. There's another story around that why my father was buried there. He was supposed to be buried in a village in our hometown. But I told my mom, my father never took us to that hometown for a purpose. I believe there was something spiritual around it, or whatever, or he knew his family members were not, didn't mean well for his kids. Whatever his intention was, I said, I want to keep it that way. You cannot take his cups back there. I said, if you go, you will go alone. So every other siblings of mine followed, suit, and they said, Somi has spoken. If that's what she wants, we are not going. So they had to bury my father in that community. And it is now that it's getting clearer because God has an assignment for us in
Mm.
that community so that my father's name would not be forgotten. The things he had done will be watered and we will be able to do more. So I sent books, children's books from here to Nigeria.
Mhm.
I want to keep that memory alive. I want kids to be blessed. I want widows not to suffer. I
Mhm.
want the foundation, through the foundation, for us to be able to pay tuition,
Mhm.
for kids, who
Wow.
are some people intelligent and they are from homes whereby they can't afford even a meal. They can't
Mhm.
afford more than a meal. They are struggling. But how do they go to school if they want to go to school? But if there's no money to pay, we know there's no the free schools in Africa are not good. They're not good anymore. So we
Mhm.
need help. They need help. So that is what the foundation is doing right now. We've done like every 4 months we give groceries, to indigent, and sick people and widows. We've done that. And next one is coming in December. We've not picked the date. We're going to pick that. We're going to have a meeting and then do that tomorrow. So we're going to give them, foodstuffs and everything. The library, my mom gave me a store, so I'm going to start from that. She's
Mm-hmm.
building a two-bedroom apartment. I'm going to rent that from her and then use it for the bigger, place till we get a plot of land to build a big library. I just feel God allowed my father to be buried there for that purpose because he has looked down on that community. He wants to bless them. He wants to change their story. I want those kids to be able to see the world through what we are doing, what the foundation is doing. They don't have to travel to know what's happening in America, to know what's happening in London. But by reading books, they can do that. There's a saying that says a reader today is a leader tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Reading expose them, to many opportunities, things that are happening around the world. It will shape on their
Mm-hmm.
mind.
Right.
It will make them to want more and want to get serious. It will take a lot of kids off the streets. It will
Mm-hmm.
reduce a lot of crime happening. I told my siblings handling it, I said, I want to reach out to even the touts on the streets. I said,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them have stories, surrounding why they chose to be on the street smoking and stuff. I said, if only people can say hi to them and say, hello, how are you? It's been a long time, I've not seen you. Most times they just want someone to care for them. If they say that you truly care, you're not about yourself and, the money you have and the fashion and everything, they will feel loved. And when they feel loved, believe me, a lot of them will begin to drop every bad behavior because they will choose the right life. They will choose to live right because you have chosen to help them. You, you have chosen to be a voice to them. So that
Mm-hmm.
is what the foundation is doing right now.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
It's 8:07, so we have come to the end of today's show, but we will definitely bring you back, so that you can share more about the many things that you do. And we have Martin watching, Yemi, Nida,
Hi, Nikki.
Judith, Judith, and we have one more comment. Yemi, beautiful story, so inspirational. So thankful for this woman. And then, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Nida said thank you. And
Oh,
like I said, we'll bring you back for sure to see how things are going, and especially with the December activity that you just announced. We would like to bring you back so that you can share how that went.
thank
Any
you so much for
last
having me.
comment or any shout out to anyone before we go?
Um, okay. I want to say this. I believe in honing your skills because with me, I tell people I'm a woman of many colors, just like David, was a man of many colors. I'm a woman of many colors. I have different talents in me. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this time is the time I need to hone my skill, like,
Mm-hmm.
get more training. Don't just stop because the opportunity is going to come. That time is going to come. I don't want to
Right.
be like the foolish virgins that when the groom came, they didn't have oil in their lamps. So when
Mm-hmm.
people see me doing different things, they're like, oh, you did this. I'm like, yes, because God has given me all these gifts and talents. I want to be able to use it all. So I am preparing myself for the next stage is taking me to. If I
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to help my people, the people God has sent me to, I have to make sure I'm constantly developing myself, and
Mm-hmm.
looking for ways for me to grow. Because until I grow and heal from inside and do more for myself, that is when I can have leftover, overflowing to give to them. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, like I love to talk, as some of you know, I love to talk, I love to connect, I love to pick my friend's brain. We talk about different things. I'm an advocate for women and children in domestic violence relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, just start that topic and we won't finish. But right now, I sign up for a coaching class
Mm-hmm.
at a Christian school at Bible International University. My class starts next week, Saturday.
Okay.
I actually opened a page in June called Reconversation with Sanmi. So
Mm-hmm.
I just believe before going into that show, because I want to have a show, a live show. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe once a month or every week. It depends on how God leads me. I just
Mm-hmm.
believe I need to go through that class first because I
Mm-hmm.
want to give policy.
Mm-hmm.
Last year January that Judith, interviewed me, and it was beautiful. I love being on TV. I'm like, I studied journalism. This is where I belong. Who set up a corner in my home? I sent Judith the picture. Everybody kept saying, Sophie, you can do this. Like, look at the way you were talking, and your hand gesture and everything. You were smiling, like you were born to do this. But then I left it. I just set up that corner. I bought everything. I bought the ring lights. I
Mm-hmm.
just stopped. Maybe because it wasn't time, because the activation time is there too. You have to know when God is saying now
Absolutely.
is the time. Because if you
Yes.
start before then, you will stop again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So
Mm.
we'll definitely bring you back. That way you can talk about, the next thing in your life, your
Yes.
show. But
Yes.
thank you so much for being on Meet an
Thanks for
Entrepreneur.
having me. Thanks for
And
having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Mama, I love you and I can't wait to see you. I'll be in Boston Thursday, the 16th of December. I can't wait to see you. Even if it's 30 minutes, I need a hug from you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Judith. I love you. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, every other person that joined, to my host, my sister. Thank you so much for this opportunity to get my story out, to get my journey out. I love and appreciate you. Thank you. More
thank
blessings.
you so much, Tammy. Bye bye. So thank you everyone for watching. It was Meet an Entrepreneur. Until the next show, be safe out there and have a good night. Bye bye.